Welcome back to Juno Communications, the inside scoop, where you can find us interviewing new and upcoming projects built on Juno. I'm thrilled to announce that we have Findolor from Komple.
Hey there.
He, he will be with me to discuss their new project being developed on Juno, currently making great progress. But first of all, thank you for coming on, Finn. I'm excited for the chat here today. Before we get into that, how are you doing?
Usual. I actually moved back to my hometown from Istanbul. Uh, it's a really refreshing thing, so that's great. Other than that, the general market, crypto stuff, the thing everyone knows. Trying to live, trying to stay alive, but keep developing and hoping for the best, actually.
Excellent. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, the market's not been very kind, and we want
Yeah.
to try and keep resources safe. I wish I could go and live back with my parents, but that I
Yeah.
would never do it.
That's why I actually look at this all the time. Not really looking at
Ah, very nice.
anything all the time.
What kind is that? That's pretty neat. That
That's like a mechanical, like Keychron. I think it was Keychron K2
is
something.
this one of the like a vintage style keyboard? Makes a lot
Not
of
really,
racket.
but just a simple like mechanical keyboard. Switch the caps, and
Yeah,
sounds nice.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Ah, nice, brilliant. Okay, before we dive deep into the project, would you mind explaining what your role is in Komple and how you get involved?
Yeah. So basically, I'm the co-founder of Komple, and also the lead developer. I write smart contracts. I'm also a full stack developer. So basically, my hands on everything. Uh, my other co-founder is actually my childhood friend. So we were living together in Istanbul. Like thinking about what can we do with like NFTs, what can we do different. You have these different like marketplaces, but people can actually utilize these marketplaces in a much different way. So we started coming up with different ideas on how to build these different applications, marketplaces, or anything you want with different NFTs. And it just started from there. One thing led to another, and we had the framework, we had the proposal,
I mean,
and
this wasn't the only project you worked on Juno. You've travelled afar during the early days in Juno. Could you maybe?
exactly. So first, I started with Juno tools. Many people in Juno know about that. I was the developer, doing the front end and the back end, and then we did some other things for other networks. Well, for Stargaze, we built the collection creation tool for them, and we also built Cosmos Swap, but that didn't really took place because we had some other competitors actually like making the same thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So
think one was,
you want
yeah,
to press on with better ideas, which have
e-
led you to Complay
exactly,
inevitably. That's great,
exactly.
mate. That's great. So what is your mission then? What are you trying to build at the
So
moment with Complay?
yeah, so with Komple, I mean, basically, so you have these marketplaces. It's, rather be it on chain or off chain, doesn't really matter. You have all these different marketplaces, but still, if people or, projects want to create some collections, create some projects there, they don't really own everything they do. It's still on those marketplaces. And when you think about it, most people don't really know how to code and write these complex contracts, complex logic. So what we wanted to do is have this simple framework uh, where you could go in, configure a bunch of things, and have an application which is different from someone else's. So you can create a project in a totally different way than I do. So after that, I mean, when you have your project, what we say in the whole blockchain industry, whole crypto ecosystem is, owning your content, right? Owning what you do in the ecosystem. So basically, it actually ties to that in that aspect. So you're gonna have your own marketplace, your own project, and you can do whatever you want with it in an easier way.
Yeah.
So obviously, the contracts, the whole framework is fairly complex, but we try to, abstract that from the user with, a simple tooling website, a website called Marbu. We're gonna come up to that later on. That serves as an index or a gateway to Komple.
Yep.
And, with tools like this, with different things, we just want to make sure that people will be able to create these applications, create these different projects for themselves.
So a person with an NFT idea, or sorry, I should rephrase it, an idea for a project that involves an NFT, a non-fungible token, or a piece of metadata that they want to put on chain, they can use Komple framework, modularize it, and have their ownership of their own maybe marketplace, but their actual own collections of what it is they're trying to release. Is that a fair analogy?
Exactly. And also the thing is, so you have all these different marketplaces. So even in Cosmos, you have different contracts that serves as a marketplace, or NFT contracts, but they don't really have a base interface that they can actually communicate with each other. So imagine I create my own collection, write a bunch of custom code, someone else does the same thing. I mean, the underlying contract, CW721 is the same, but maybe I added some additional things on top of mine, and someone else did the same. So with that, maybe they can't really communicate with each other in an easy way. But if you have a simple,
could you maybe dive deeper into that, like as a non-technical reference? What do you mean by, if you create we're using CW721, right? So you have contracts, Stargaze has contracts, anyone else who in the Cosmos using Cosmos has the same contract. Are you saying that if you've got your own version of your contract, with using Komple, you can add to this contract and add different things?
What I'm talking about is, imagine you have this marketplace where you put your tokens and you sell them off, right? So in theory, what needs to happen is you have to put your tokens in the marketplace. That marketplace somehow needs to lock up those tokens. So you can't really sell them when they're listing.
Yeah.
And when someone buys it, they just have to transfer it, right? Imagine, one marketplace has this, but in another marketplace, they don't have this lockup mechanism, because I mean it's a custom thing and it's not really coded into 721. That's something you build on top of it. So basically, if one has this feature and if the other one doesn't really have that feature, in essence, they can't really communicate because they're not sharing the same interface, right? In that case, with Komple framework, because it's actually using the same underlying infrastructure, they would be able to actually communicate, because we know what's happening in that contract, because this project and this project actually shares the same infrastructure.
Okay, that's fantastic. But we're going to dive deeper now. You're going to show us some stuff.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go through the process and let's try and bring it home to the users that they understand fully what the underlying Komple is doing, and then you can piggyback off of that, and maybe we can chat about Marbu, what this is. Okay. So this is
the documentation we have, and I'm gonna go through a single image that explains the whole framework and tell you about some of the.
Sorry, Findolor, to butt in, but where can people find this? Is this docs.komple.io at the top there?
Yeah, docs. I can make it bigger if you want.
We'll put all the details in the description below.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you what the whole project is about. So if you can see this picture.
Yes.
So all of the red boxes are actually different contracts, and this is a single project in Komple framework. So basically, it all starts from the hub module. The hub module is the centerpiece of the framework, and all the other modules actually register in the hub module and create this huge, network of contracts. So this is again a single project. So here you can see we have a collection which consists of token module, metadata module, and whitelist module. So this whitelist is, totally optional. You can have it without, you can have the collection without the whitelist.
Yeah.
But you have the token and the metadata, which, comes together as a single thing. And this, it actually ties to the mint module, where it keeps different collections inside a single contract. So imagine, you're a creator DAO, you let a lot of people in, different artists. They can have, different type of collections for different kind of art.
Yeah.
And that will be all kept in the mint module. So all of these different collections can be like, hand-drawn collections, like digital collections, but it's all in the same project. So it's nicely organized. And again, you have, should it copy it? So you have, the marketplace module. The thing is, you have the marketplace module, the merge, the everything else, some custom modules. Even if you don't really like something about the framework, which you can, this is an open source project, and maybe you want to do things differently.
Okay.
You can actually swap out these modules, write your own thing, and just plug that in. So it's not like you're vendor locked to something, but you have the option to do whatever you want with it. And
yes, it's very modular.
Exactly. So in essence, again, it's a bunch of different contracts, made for a single purpose, and they all just make this huge project. And
that's pretty awesome, and this paves the way for future developments, I suppose. Like, say there's a contract improvement, there's something a little bit better.
Exactly.
Stargaze and DAO are doing some great stuff with NFTs, and it's great we can have all this open sourced. And I just think it's the best way to run.
Exactly. This is what Cosmos Stack runs on, right? Cosmos SDK.
Yeah.
You have all these different modules. People can add different things.
Yeah.
We wanted to have the same thing, because this is the future that we're going, not something that vendor locked, or you do this, but you don't really let people change things. But that's not how it works. And this is the future that we're going. So
cool.
We really like the architecture. And again, you can see the documentation for more info. But other than that, we have.
So that's your contract. So everything's modular. So this is what Komple is doing under the hood.
Exactly.
So what if I suppose we'll lead on to the next part. Like, if someone had an awesome idea, let's say, but they're not really interested in the modular approach, how all this is working under the hood. Well, how do you get them involved, Finn? If you're not a developer, can you onboard a standard Web 2 user, my cousin who doesn't use crypto or doesn't use blockchain, but he's quite involved in the industry, music industry or whatever, just as an example.
Yeah.
Is there an easy way that you guys are solving to onboard these people and just kind of feed them into Web3 without them even knowing any different? Yeah,
exactly. So that's actually possible. That is actually possible with Marbu. So,
and this is what Komple as a whole. This is Marbu is not Marbu is Komple under the hood, but
exactly. The thing is, so we have the Komple framework, right?
Yeah.
And without Marbu, Komple framework is just there. People can use it. So if you for example go to the Playground website we have, which is so you can go to each of the different modules and permissions.
So this is just the front end for what's going on under the hood.
Exactly. Yeah. The framework is there without Marbu. So Marbu is a byproduct of what we do. So anyone can actually come in and build Marbu from the start. It's not something the framework depends on. But very it's nice. Something that
I think it's a good idea what you've did, because Marbu is here's an example of what can be built. using Komple framework, and then people can see a nice, well, let's see it.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, let's just like go through what Marble is, and I'll explain what is happening. This is my local development environment, so not gonna, you're not gonna find this online, but in the coming weeks and months, we're gonna just put this on a testnet and try out different things. But if you want, I can actually make this bigger, but it should be all right. Just to recap everything, Marbu is a gateway to the Komple world. People can come in here, view different kind of marketplaces, go into each of them, and create collections, mint different tokens, and they can see what is happening with the framework. And this is again still being built, so some of the features are not there, but just gonna show you what it's like to create a marketplace, create a collection, and maybe mint some tokens. So let's just connect our wallet.
It looks very nice, Findolor. It's a nice color arrangements.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And
so
I'll let you describe how you go through the marketplace, but this is what really got me going when you showed me the modular approach with Marbu. This is exciting.
Yeah. I mean, the whole marketplace creation flow is actually really exciting. Yeah. So let's just, I don't know, what I like
Juno
to do
Communications. Is, let's build Juno Communications marketplace. Let's get some NFTs on the go.
All right, Juno Communications marketplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have. I have the Juno logo.
That'll do for now. Yeah.
So this marketplace is made for prompts.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, I'll just go there in a bit. So that's like, let's just like put some links in here.
So what are these links for?
This people can actually come in here.
Yeah, so you're actually, there you go. So you can see that, folks, that we're designing the actual front page for the new marketplace, and it's happening.
I don't remember
that's pretty nice.
I don't remember the actual link, but let's just
don't you worry. It's just a demonstration, man.
Yeah, Komple, and some Discord link you can put in here.
Fantastic. And it just renders it instantly. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's just like add some. How do I buy some NFTs?
Wow.
Just buy it. Great advice, and some other questions. Just gonna bash the key. So you can actually look at what you're doing. Just
real time
model, and you can see all the colors and everything that you put into here. And I said colors because right now we're coming up to that. So let me move the video in here. So let's just put a full screen hero image. What does that mean? So if I choose hero, I can actually, put this hero image so that, people can actually view this and, it really looks cool. And so I can actually display a collection, token from a collection that I choose in here. It's not really functional at the moment, but still it's gonna look like this. I can also have some collections in the showcase. Again, some little padding issues, but that's not a huge deal. You can put up to 2 collections, and let's just like turn this off at the moment. You can, the biggest thing is, I'm gonna come to that team, but so you're gonna have your stats, the overall volume, the sale numbers, and everything.
Yeah.
And the good thing is you can play around with the theme. So
yeah,
this is the lighting, right? You have the yellowish kind of thing. You have all the text and everything. So if I switch to dark theme, everything changes to another color, and you can actually play around with this. And you have this custom selection where, and I'm gonna put a color picker in here, but currently, you can put a bunch of different like colors in here. Create your own experience, create your own marketplace.
Yeah.
in here.
Very, very modular, very nice, very
Exactly.
customizable, I suppose the word is I'm after.
Exactly.
Which I think is important for users because they want to put their own stamp on what they're trying to sell or list.
Exactly. And you know, I can actually put some custom values in here if you want, or we can just
We
switch to
can.
dark.
Well, I think we get the idea of it. It's pretty
Yeah.
nice. I mean, it's good.
So
I was going to ask, like, are you limited to what you can display? But you've obviously got a bigger library of customization there.
exactly. I mean, again, just you can play around with pretty
Yeah, of
much
course.
a lot of things in here. So let's just, you know, create the marketplace, right? So if I
Yep.
click on finish customization, what it does is, you know, you added your logo and it actually uploads everything to IPFS. So you don't really, you know, host it in a central server. And, you know, if we approve that transaction, first it creates your marketplace,
Yeah.
then it actually applies your customization into the contract. So
This
the
is all
second,
on chain. Like,
yeah,
not
so
even
we're
just creating
actually
this.
creating everything. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So let's just click on approve. Let's just wait for it to finish. And, you know, we can check mint scan for this contract. So this contract address is actually on chain.
Wow.
And yeah, let's just look at it. Let me get my address. What happens? Yeah, here you can see, you know, 31 seconds ago,
Yep.
you know, I'm trying a lot of things in here, but you can see the contract we have. So this is what and yeah, so
Yeah. Cool.
basically,
Fantastic.
you basically created our own marketplace, right? So at the moment, we don't really have anything in the launch pad or as in collections.
Yeah.
So let's
Well,
just create a collection so, you know, we can see how it works out.
we can get into that after this because I was going to ask, is Marbu not only a customization for your listing of NFTs, can it be a launch pad or a marketplace for other people's marketplaces as well?
It not really. So the
Okay.
marketplaces or the contracts have to be created with the framework.
Ah,
So I got a question before that, you know, someone created an NFT collection, and you know, he was asking if his collection is actually compatible with what we do. It's not directly compatible. So what we need to do is write a migration contract that takes a bunch of their data and, you know, just move them to the framework. And it's not something that just works.
yeah.
But, you know, we're also thinking about, you know, designing that migration contracts to actually help people, you know, migrate over to
Nice.
the Komple framework. But again, because that what, you know, it ties to what I said before, because projects can have different custom contracts for their collections, there isn't a single migration solution for everything.
Yeah.
And for each collection, maybe it has to be written, and then, you know, you can have the collection on Komple framework.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, so where are we up to? We are now going to create
great.
a little collection.
Yeah. So
Anything at all?
yeah. So let's just, you know, let's just try everything with drag and drop. So there are two options in here. You can either, you know, upload your content to IPFS yourself, or you can drag and drop your content, you know, assets, metadata to Marbu, and, you know, we can take care of the uploading for you. So
Findolor, can I ask a basic question for anyone who's not fully aware what IPFS is?
So IPFS is basically this huge network, a peer-to-peer network that hosts content. So when you put an image onto IPFS, it actually goes to everyone's nodes, not everyone's, but, you know, when someone actually picks up that image, it saves it on their node. It's more like a blockchain. But
peer-to-peer file sharing.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
centralized entity.
Think of it like a torrenting network. And when you put your content to IPFS, you know, it actually you have, you're not really using any centralized data service. And when someone takes down their server, it is actually still on IPFS. And people actually warn you, if you don't really want someone to view your content online, don't really upload it to IPFS, because even if you take down one server, it can be maybe someone else's. And that's the everything. So
that's a whole other video, man.
Yeah, I mean, just be careful, everyone. Yeah.
Thanks, mate, for clarifying, though.
Yeah, no worries. So that's why we use actually IPFS. So we don't really want to upload to any central server. We just directly upload everything to IPFS.
Copy.
So let's just go on with the collection creation flow.
Okay.
And let's just. I don't have
anything at all. The demonstration's fine. We're not picky here at the Inside Scoop. Just on you go and share what you want.
This is my collection 1. Great name. This is the collection 1. And obviously this can be a lot longer. You can have different links in here. You can select the launch date in here. I'm not going to do that. You're gonna have your configuration about the collection. So let's say you have like 1,200 NFTs in here. You can specify your price. And when we go to drag and drop, let me actually bring up the assets. So I was actually testing this earlier. Not gonna upload a lot of things because again, it's gonna take a bit of time.
Nice.
So you can actually let me actually take everything in here, so you can see what you put in the in the website. So you can see your first 2 NFTs and the last one.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the order is a bit different, but it doesn't really matter. So this is because you just need to make sure that you're uploading the correct thing. So again, you select your JSON files. Let me move this here. So you can see, the name of the token, description, how many attributes you have, some small things about the token. So you really know that, okay, this is the right thing. So also, I actually skipped this part, but you can actually configure your collection with adding a presale, or if you want to add some royalties, you can also select those too. So you have this simple like step review. So if every time you go on to the next step, you know what's coming after that. And currently, the pre-sale and the royalty, it's not really, it doesn't really have the logic. So I'm not gonna go through with that.
Of course. Yep.
But if we go to summary, in this step, you can see what you did, what your collection is all about. The name, this, and everything. So if you create your collection, again, because we chose drag and drop, it now uploads everything to the IPFS. So we have to wait a little bit.
Of course.
And then
we can cut this now. Do you know what I mean, or whatever? And then
we got the
right. So we'll leave a wee gap, 5 seconds, and then say, right. So now it's uploaded, and I'll just cut this out.
Wait.
Just wait a wee second and then say, right, so that's us uploaded.
Right. All right. So actually it uploaded now, and you can see the transaction pop up over here, and you can see we have the IPFS link in here. Click on approve. Processes the transaction, and here we go. We have the first collection ready in collections under Explorer.
In the matter of minutes.
Exactly. So, and if I click this, this is not with the correct logic. So basically, it's going to show you the details about the collection. Can I add that? But if you go to Launchpad, you can see the first collection we have right now, right? And it has all the information about it. Some mock data for these.
So now it's making more sense how it works now. So you've got you have a customizable page. You can then here's my project, here's the idea. And then when you create a specific collection, it shows up in the launch pad. And then whenever you want to add additional collections, I take it it's all just coming out on the launch pad.
Exactly. And you know,
Very
the
cool.
good thing is, let me just show you this real quick. So again, back to the playground.
Yeah, yeah.
So the projects created with the playground or Marbu, they're actually fully compatible. So if I go to Mint, if I go to execute, and wait, what is the contract address? I need to find that out. So yeah, this is the contract address. So this contract, I'll just reject that real quick. Let's just create a collection through here, right? So we can, you know, we can also do this. So if I go, I say like collection 2. So the collection image, let me actually copy this. IPFS image of that. I don't really specify anything in here. Some random IPFS stuff. Juno. So if I actually create a collection through here, let's just wait for it to, okay, it processed, and you know, we have all these different like responses in here. So you know, you have the token module, you have the metadata module, so you can use these different addresses in different places. But yeah, if I actually refresh the page in here,
yeah,
we should be able to see 2 collections because
right.
we create another
Okay.
one, right?
So yeah, you've shown an example using the playground that you can actually create the collection using the Komple framework, not necessarily needing Marbu. Okay.
Exactly. They're fully compatible.
Fully compatible. They're both doing the same thing. Right.
Imagine, I mean, you have your own project that you create with Marbu.
Yeah.
And again, we have all these different modules, right? Like merge module for, you know, merging 2 different NFTs and minting a new one.
Yeah.
So basically with all of that, you know, you can also use Playground to customize everything further. But with Marbu, we're going to leave it much simpler than Playground.
I have a quick question. I suppose it's like, what happens when you create your own customized page on Marbu? Does it become marbu.com/Juno Communications, or does it become Juno Communications NFT and we just get the domain and it points to what Marbu's created? How does that work?
So actually, you know, the link will be like this. So if you can read the URL, normally it says localhost, right? So it's going to be like marbu.io, and you're going to have your own marketplace with, you know, specified with a contract address. But the thing is,
and do everyone's NFT projects all live on Marbu if they created it on Marbu? Is the question I'm asking?
Yes, we actually thought about that. You know, should we actually let people, you know, download the files for their own marketplace and, you know, host them,
if you want my personal opinion, you know, you could have both, bit of both worlds, couldn't you? You know, if someone wants to take the files away and then create their own domain, voila, fine. You know, you can.
What I'm thinking is, you know, what we can do.
Sorry for interrupting, but it is a contract created by Marbu on chain, isn't it? So ain't that good for the ecosystem now? We have the fee sharing module on Juno, that all these fees and gas fees or things being used generates growth for Juno.
Exactly. I mean, you know, what we can do is you can actually put your domain in Marbu, and we can redirect every request that is coming to your page to your domain. And so we built Komple.js, a way for you to, you know, access Komple framework with an easy, you know, JavaScript library, TypeScript library, but the semantics. So you can actually take this Komple.js and build your own marketplace. So that's up to you. And again, if you put your domain on Marbu, we can actually redirect to that domain.
Best of both worlds there.
Yeah, exactly. You can have whatever you want there.
So you've
So
shown us how to create a customized front end for our NFT project. You've actually shown us how to mint a couple of collections using the playground and using Marbu because Komple framework allows you to do so. And is there anything else you would like to display us? And if not, I can get into more of the specifics. We can talk a little bit more technical stuff if you'd like.
yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we have.
Yeah.
Obviously you're gonna have, Marketplace Explorer, that kind of thing. But yeah,
Fantastic. I mean, it looks
that's
great.
pretty
It,
much it.
it does look good.
Thanks a lot.
It's nice and simple, and I think that's what users need. Some simple process. If they have loads of
Yeah,
good content, loads of good NFTs, they want to get them out there and get them listed as soon as possible with ease. Very good.
exactly.
Yep. So yeah, thanks for displaying, showing us a demonstration, Findler. I'm excited. Always have been excited with Complex. I think it's a great idea. I think Juno needs an NFT sort of, not just a marketplace. I don't see it as just an NFT marketplace Complex. I see it as like, developers coming on Juno and working on Juno and going, well, there's this framework here called Komple. Of course, we know it's Cosm Wasm under the hood. Cosm Wasm under the hood everywhere in Cosmos. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's not just Juno, but the whole point of it is we're trying to onboard more users here, more developers. If there's developers out there that are in the Web2 world who quite like the idea of NFTs, then this looks pretty simple to come on and use. You've got a JavaScript library there, you have NPM packages, like you say, on now that people can use and develop from. So, and then they can start learning how Cosm Wasm works by actually getting involved because
yeah,
it's contracts under the hood. So it's a win-win. Can you explain how your website indexes the smart contract data and
yeah. So
what type of data is displayed to users?
so we use subquery. I think they came to Cosmos with Terra Developer Fund, if I remember correctly, and they have this project where they built this application where it fetches the blocks and parses them according to what you wrote as a logic. So we have different kind of events in the framework. So when you let's say like create a collection, it sends out events to the blockchain saying that, all right, this is the collection ID, this is the name, description. We had all these different information. So in the indexer, what we do is write a specific parser just made for the framework, and when it sees, let's say, like a collection creation event, it parses based on what I wrote. So basically, it just fetches name, description, this and that, and it saves it to a database. So we don't really have to go to contracts all the time. It's not really performant or efficient to pull data from contracts
Yeah.
every time you want something because it can be slower. And when you think about NFT related things, or
It's
like
a bit
web,
more data on.
yeah, like or online in general, it's just you have to get some fast responses, right?
Yeah.
So it's just
So,
easier
so it
to
sounds like it's the integral part of any NFT project is the indexer.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, indexers are probably the most important part of NFT projects because otherwise you can't really get data. And if you don't really get data, how would people actually use the website?
So,
Most
so
people
it was a great move for the Terra Developer Fund then, in your opinion, getting subquery involved.
exactly. I mean, the project they built is really easy to use and customizable.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying the development progress on it. Of course, there are some things I really want something different in the framework and the indexer framework. But being it open source, I can just go in, contribute to the project, and have what I want in there. Or worst case, I can fork the project, do what I want, and have it for myself. But I guess contribution is better in this context because a lot of other people can use
Yeah.
these kind of things.
Excellent. How does your I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Cosmos vision, okay? I know Jake, Hartnell and Shane and these guys are all like doing some great work with interoperability. How does your framework handle interoperability with other blockchain platforms and protocols? Or are you following, are we kind of waiting for a standardization on CW 721, or it's not that, it's not called that, is it? What is it called? ICA?
ICS
ICS,
721.
sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
is that
uh,
is this yeah, I'll let you answer that.
yeah. Uh, Currently, two Komple framework projects can't really communicate with each other because we haven't really added that protocol yet.
Mhm.
And our focus was to have the framework,
Yeah.
have a way to access everything that is built on it, and then we're gonna move over to just like connecting two different projects, and it's possible again because it uses the underlying structure.
Yeah.
But for the interchange stuff, it's not really compatible at the moment. But we're gonna be there because
But it is doable,
when
like you
we
say, you're going to be there. That's fantastic.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of prioritization,
Of
and
course.
we have to have Marbu and other stuff before we actually jump onto that kind of
Um,
imperability. That's hard.
yeah, it's a difficult word to say, especially, me being
Yeah,
Scottish. And it's very hard for
yeah.
me to
I'm
say
not
some
really.
English words. Um, can you describe, well, no, I'll leave that one out, but how do you plan to support, how do you plan to support and update your smart contract framework as like blockchain technology and NFT standards continue to like evolve? Are you going to be maintaining it? Are you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously with different kind of NFC logic and everything, we're gonna be updating the contracts, and obviously, other projects will use Komple framework. For example, Orbital Morse uses Komple framework for their blockchain economy,
Yeah.
and they're gonna
And
use our contracts, and they
Auburn Wars
yeah.
have had on the show, if you want to check out, it's our very first episode recorded, which ties in
Yeah.
with Komple a little bit.
Yeah, so they're using Komple framework to build out their NFT infrastructure. And when you think about it, what I really want is, so imagine they have their own custom, modules, custom things. In the future, I want to have, this marketplace of different modules where people can come in, add a different module to this marketplace. Other people can, pull it from there
Yeah.
to see if they can fit into their project. And with that, you have this open source world where people build different modules for the framework. People can use different modules. Imagine there is this like new NFT logic again. We can build it. Other people can build it. We can use it. We can add that as an official module, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's being open source. It's really helpful for everyone.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Finn. Well answered. How does your framework support the customization of NFTs? For example, allowing for unique traits or attributes. Is it,
Yeah, again, I mean,
again, it's like what Urban Wars you're expecting to achieve with them as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I've been talking with Stefan, and he has this like custom logic to their game, right?
Mhm.
And we've been told, so we have the metadata module, which you can use it for dynamic token attributes. So we can use different attributes in the token to add some custom logic to the contract, or you can have different module that serves as your game logic. So basically, it's really happening at the moment, and the framework being a modular design, and you can have all of these things. And for us actually, I mean, you've seen we're building Barbu, but we've seen some missing things in there when we're building it, like the customization, right?
Yeah.
So normally framework doesn't really have customization contracts because why would it? It's not really tied to Marbu at all.
Yeah.
But we actually added another module called like Marbu customization. So
Okay.
that's actually use case of what you can do with the framework.
Yeah.
Imagine someone else is building Marbu. They can actually add the customization module. So
Yeah.
we're actually using this modular design ourselves
Yeah.
while we're doing a Marbu.
Yeah. It can be easily built out as an open source project. That's
Exactly.
what we want.
Also,
That's the
also,
best way.
yeah,
Excuse
yeah.
me.
I'm also going to write an article about what we're doing to build out Marbu. I mean, we have a framework, but we're also adding some custom modules to build Marbu. So
Yeah.
that's actually a great use, and we can show people that
Yeah.
you can do these things yourself.
I mean, I'm not going to get into too much technical on it, Findolor, because I know the community know who you are, but I'll put your details on how you can find you. And if there's any developers who need to know anything about the tools or APIs to help, work on, help build NFT-based applications using the framework, I'll get them to get in touch, or we'll put the information in the description right down below here. I just want to go into the last section then before we wrap up, and it's just getting into some industry specifics. Where do you see yourself in the market? You're an NFT project, or you are more of a kind of modular design kind of developers. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years, or what's your vision?
Yeah, I mean, I really like designing and developing frameworks, tools for people to use, because these are all the infrastructure for the future projects, future applications, right?
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have these things for other developers, for other people to use. And obviously, I really like writing smart contracts.
Yeah.
And with that, we have the NFT parts. I'm also interested in games too, and what Urban War does is really important for the whole ecosystem.
I agree. I think he does a great job, Stefan. He's got a massive community, man, on his own,
Yeah.
And what he's bringing to Juno. And I love the idea of like Komple's on Juno. I know you're open to the whole of the cosmos as well. We're not competing with any other chain. We're not like that. We should be having it. It's good for the ecosystem that we have.
Yeah.
Especially Juno, but we've got projects using each other's stuff to help build out the Juno ecosystem, so to speak.
Exactly. So, yeah. I mean that future. So in 5 years, I would say, building these applications, these projects, these frameworks, so that people can actually use to build more things on top of it. So
why did you, obviously you got funding from Juno, why were you on Juno in the first place? You talked about that at the beginning, that you were working on projects around Juno in the early days with Do Slabs yourself, and Juno tools and stuff like that. So you just felt, what was the reason why you came to Juno for funding? Was it because you believed in it, or
I mean, like Juno being
community pool?
Like Juno being a permissionless smart contract framework does really help, because you can build a lot of things on it. And I really like the community in here. Everyone is really engaging, and with that, it's just a really easy way for us to build as developers in a chain like Juno, because it actually helps you to achieve your dreams, because Juno didn't really give us the funding to build all of these platforms, all of these different toolings, and we wouldn't be there. So again, I really thank to all the Juno community for the proposal, for the funding.
I mean, what the milestones are pretty much, you're on track, aren't you? Things, but what could you maybe tell the community as well, what's happened with the funds also, like, because the market's basically went
Yeah.
down. So what's your plans going forward? Like, are you waiting for a market recovery, or are you just like, if you get anything
So
in
so
mind?
what happened was actually we didn't really get all the funding
Yeah.
because of the market prices. But again, we're really thankful for the funding, and we're actually trying to keep that, save it, because we have to build this project. We have to fund ourselves for the next year maybe. So we're planning financially on that, and obviously we're gonna have some other like toolings features. So we're also thinking about maybe in the future having some like games kind of thing. I mean, it's not really
Yeah, just spitballing
yeah, it's
ideas.
just like, yes, but yeah. So we can maybe have games that use Komple framework. We can have some other platforms, like ticketing systems, this and that.
Yeah.
But again, these things need to be aligned with the market. So we'll just see what happens. But
That's all you can do. No one can control the market,
exactly,
like to say.
exactly.
But yeah, look, we could go on all day. We really could, me and you.
Yeah,
But I just want to thank you for coming on the show. And I think we've put together a nice little demonstration, and we've went into a little bit more specifics on what Komple is, what
yeah,
Marbu does, how easy it is to create an NFT collection and customize your own style of NFT marketplace. We've done a little bit of technicals, like we said. If there's any developers out there want to work on some Komple framework, I will leave the details in the description below here. Fastest way to get in touch with you, Findolor, you're quite active on all socials, aren't you? But if you
yeah.
want
You can,
shout out to anything now while you have the
yeah.
time.
You can find me on Twitter, Discord. I'm always on Discord, so
Yeah,
feel free to hit that. Telegram, and yeah, I mean those three are the most important. So you
cool.
can just find me all over on those platforms.
Yeah, thanks for. We'll obviously we'll keep updating the community as much as we can here at Juno Communications on the progress of all these amazing projects on Juno. Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. Findler,
Thanks for
we'll
having
see you
me.
soon. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.